Flirty and Trying. I'm Channing.
I'm Mari, and this week we're trying to write a bucket list.
So grab your favorite drink, think some morbid thoughts,
and come along for the ride. So,
Hi.
hey girl!
Hey.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm honestly kind of sad. I just wrote my bucket, I just wrote my bucket list. I finished it maybe 20 minutes ago, and then I needed to listen to some happy music because there were a lot of feelings happening that were overwhelming. And I haven't really shaken that yet while we're recording this. So that's kind of where I'm at. How are you?
I get that. I wrote mine a couple of days ago, so I have had the time to come back. But yeah, I totally get it. I've passed that place.
Yeah.
So it will pass.
No, I know. It's just so fresh.
It's really intense, right?
Yeah, it's a process.
Well, I guess we'll talk about it when we talk about the tribe, but just a little bit, there's a reason why you said, let's get morbid.
Yeah.
It's hopeful, but it's also pretty
intense. Yeah.
We're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are gonna die. we are gonna die. Yes.
Hey guys, welcome to 30, Flirty, and Trying. We're all gonna die. You thought this was an uplifting podcast. No, we're here to challenge your mortality. What is that?
Get your shit together. Your clock is ticking. Is that not exactly how you felt, though? Because that's pretty much how I felt.
No, that's exactly how I felt. And can I tell you, when you said, get your shit together, the clock is ticking, all I could think of was the crocodile in Peter Pan.
Yes. Exactly. That's perfect.
That's exactly it. He's haunting Captain Hook. I think that was maybe an allegory or a metaphor.
Maybe it was an allegory for death.
Yeah, for because Hook, Peter represents life
and childhood
and open neverland adventure.
Right.
And
right.
The crocodile.
Hook is adulthood, and the croc is your own death.
This is really depressing.
Okay, I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Okay, to change the subject to something a little happier, what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking a cheap-ass rosé from Trader Joe's that is delicious.
Yes. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Some of those $2 chucks are terrible, but some of them are gems.
Oh yeah, this was a $6 chuck.
Okay. A $6 chuck, though, I feel like the $6 chuck is the new $2 chuck because of the economy.
Right.
And inflation.
Somehow, yes.
Right?
Sure.
Because welcome to Planet Money, everyone. We fooled you.
Exactly.
$6 is a pretty good price for a rosé.
It is.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking my Swedish cider, Rekordeling. Do you want to? Oh, I don't have the can anymore. I was going to say, I want to show you the can so you can see how you can help me pronounce it. It's so good. It's the passion fruit flavor. It's delicious. It's really good. It's not too much.
That sounds so
really
light.
Good. Yeah.
You guys, Mari and I are trying something different this week. We can see each other because, and not even because we changed recording softwares, but because we're I don't know, cool and bobo in that we are recording while we are also FaceTiming on our phones, and we just have our FaceTime muted because we wanted to be able to see each other.
Because we love each other, and I love your face, but also one could maybe brand this as not bobo per se, but maybe one could brand this as, multi-platform technology use.
That's absolutely what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Multi-platform technological utilization, optimization.
Platform optimization.
Yeah.
Synergy.
Yeah.
You guys, welcome to our TED Talk.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah. So what did you do today?
Oh, I just got back from a hike. Yeah, with me and Cameron and the pup, and it was nice. It was just like not what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so Mari and I had like a long conversation the other day just about kind of our expectations. And if we can resurrect that conversation a little bit, because I think it was maybe good for I don't know, just a good launch pad for the bucket list conversation.
I agree.
In that, like, so I guess I could talk about the hike a little bit. Like, the hike was frustrating because I put so much pressure on it
Mm-hmm.
to like meet these expectations. Um, because like I'm okay, like I'm trying to be more active in my life because that's something that I want for myself, but also like I work with all of these like young active people who like they're like early 20s and they are like kayak guides and like rock climbers and like they've lived all over the country and they do all this stuff and like I'm 30 and I'm like have I sheltered myself my whole life? Like have I just like not done the things that I want to do? And so now I'm like kind of trying to do those things but also have a ton of pressure on it
Yeah.
because of like some image that I have attached to it.
Yeah. Thank you, Instagram and Pinterest.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's like the whole thing just like is generally a bummer because it's pulling me away from just being able to enjoy my own experience. And
Mm-hmm.
like I put all this pressure on doing this hike today and like having an amazing hike and like Reggie was being a jerk. And
And
my dog.
Reggie is the puppy. Yeah.
Reggie's my puppy, and he was just being a jerk and like pulling, and it was like hella fucking muddy, and like it just it wasn't working out. Like Cam and I weren't really on the same page with like how to deal with Reggie, and like that was stressful, and like Cam doesn't have the proper footwear yet, and so he was like Reggie was like
Oh
pulling him down, like
no.
literally he was gonna fall,
Oh no.
and
And it
like
was crazy muddy. Oh no.
so muddy, and so like I just got really frustrated and like Cam had heard our conversation the other day, so he knew how much pressure I was putting on it. And so he was like,
Yeah.
we have to keep going, we have to keep going, we have to keep going as well because like
Because
he
he
wanted to
felt
provide.
pressure for you
Yes.
to be able to do this thing you've wanted to be doing.
Yeah, he wanted to like provide
Oh,
this, quote unquote life that I've been wanting to have. And
that's really sweet.
yeah, I and like eventually I was like, you know what? Like let's just go back. Like we're making a commitment that we're gonna have adventure days every Sunday. Like we've already talked about that.
I love it.
And so thanks. So
Yeah.
like this is our starting point. This is like so it wasn't like the hike of our lives. Like it's okay. Like take a breath, let it be what it is, and
Uh-huh.
not
Yep.
fucking like squeeze it by the neck and say, no, you have to be the perfect hike because this is the life I need to have.
And
You
every
know?
single part of it needs to be on Instagram and gorgeous.
Right. My
Yeah, no,
computer.
I know. Yeah, mine too. No, I know exactly what you mean, and I've totally been there. And I actually, so this is not, I've been exactly where you are. And so I
Yeah.
understand like the weight of that. It's so intense. I'm still there, just like not, I didn't go on a hike today like that.
Right,
But
right.
on a smaller scale, you know how that's manifested a little bit in my life. So, reading, right? So like I love to
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
I love it. And every time I would get a new book, like I would be like, oh, like I have to finish it, even if I'm not super into it by like the second chapter. And
Yeah.
because you put all this expectation on yourself, you're like, I'm a reader. And like, yeah, you are a reader, but you want to know what? Not everybody has to read all the same things. And, you
Right.
know, it's okay to read what you like. And so I
Right.
decided, that, you know what, if I wasn't into a book by like the end of the second chapter, that I wasn't going to keep going with it because
That's
I
amazing
didn't,
and so
yeah.
liberating.
Do you know how many books I've read this year? I've read like 50 books this year.
Really? That's
Yes.
amazing.
Thank you. Do you
I
want to
didn't
know
know that.
why? Yes, because it like freed me. It like, I know it's so little and so kind of ridiculous, but my expectation of what I had to do to be a reader, I just used air quotes, um, was holding me back from actually reading.
Right. Well, and I think that's what labels do. Like when we
Yeah.
attach so much to labels, it's like okay, so this might feel like a really far off analogy, but it's like okay,
Hold on. I did an analogy with Peter Pan. Can't get more far off. Go.
maybe I can. So I used to
Uh-oh.
have this I used to have this cat who loved me. Like I was a little kid, a tiny little kid, and this cat Chester was like obsessed with me and I loved him so
Oh,
much and he would like just wanted to be next to me. But like
Chester the cat.
it was so sweet. But like I would squeeze this kitty and like hold him by my face and be like, "Love me!" And like every picture of me, I'm literally holding this cat by the neck. And I'm like smiling so excited, like, I got a kitty and he loves me because I'm forcing it. Whereas like
Oh my God.
Whereas, like, if I would just loosen my grip, like, he would still love me. He'd still sit next to me. It would be more natural.
Yeah,
You know what I
totally.
mean? Like,
Yep.
maybe that analogy doesn't translate, but for me, it's like in the
No, it
forcing.
does.
Yeah, in like the forcing of the thing, like, you're losing out on the experience of it. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
if you're experiencing it like with somebody else, like you're affecting them, like you affected Chester probably negatively. And
yeah. And I know I affected Cam with like my obsession with we're hikers now and like we're active people now. Like instead of just being like, look, we're starting this thing that we both want to
how many,
do. Like,
but how many people have made that mistake though? Like, well, like I'm
no,
a
I
yogi
know.
now. So, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
like, because you put all these expectations on yourself. I feel like that's why things don't last though. Like when, like the whole like New Year's resolutions, like to like go to the gym, like it doesn't last because the first time you go to the gym, when you haven't gone to the gym for a year is, you know, a gym, first of all, that you maybe hate. And then you go in
Right.
and you do like an hour on the treadmill and then you like pump like leg iron. I don't know. I don't go to the gym. But, but
And
like you do those
you
things.
overexert yourself.
Yeah. And then you're so sore and you were like, that was the worst
Right.
experience. I never want to go back. And then you never go back because you literally decided that you wanted to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger or, you know what? Let me get this more modern day. The Rock. You decided that you wanted
Right.
to be the Rock, but like you can't be the Rock without like starting as like a tiny little pebble.
Right. We're
You have to
like
be a
suffocating
pebble.
ourselves with the image, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Oh,
Yes, but it feels so good to get that out.
it does. No, that was kind of like a cathartic groan.
Yeah, I know. That felt really good. Should I do one?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, that felt like
Oh,
so good. That was like an
if
interpretation of
anybody
lion's
wants,
breath.
yeah, for sure. Listen, if any of
Yeah.
our listeners are like really intense with like whatever the fuck audio Photoshop is, and you want to make a remix of our cathartic groans, I would love to hear that. That'd be great.
That would make my life. Thank you very much. You know what? I'm going to cross out my entire bucket list. That's all I want. That's it. That's it. Just remix my cathartic groan with my best friend's cathartic groan, and I think we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, should we talk about our try?
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about this fucking heavy, painful, and very motivating process of writing a bucket list.
Yes,
And you
please.
go first because it was my try.
Well, let's first do, can we do 3 words or less?
Oh shit, yeah, let's do it. I haven't thought about it, but yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
Yeah, okay, I got it.
I'll go while you think. Okay. So in 3 words or less, the experience of writing a bucket list for me was surprisingly difficult.
Yeah. I think the experience of writing a bucket list for me was, yeah, I kind of already said it, but painful and motivating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All words that like I don't feel like when you talk about a bucket list, like immediately come to your brain. Like I feel like the first thing that comes to your brain is like adventure.
Yeah, well, also, I feel like culturally, the way that we perceive the idea of a bucket list is like these things that like are fanciful and things that like we'll never really do. It's just sort of this like these like far off dreams. And that's not how I approached it. I approached it as like, if I like, these are things that if I live to be 90 and I'm on my deathbed and I haven't done all these things, I'm going to be bummed. Like, I almost approached it as like a life checklist.
That's exactly what I did. Because I think that's what a real
Yeah.
bucket list is. Can I be honest? Actually, before I wrote it, because like I've seen the movie The Bucket List. So I was like, that's like my
Right.
only reference for a bucket list. And so
Yeah.
I was like, is a bucket list like a fanciful list or like, is it like just like a list of things you want to do before you die? And so I literally Googled bucket list.
You did? What came up? I'm so curious.
Urban Dictionary came up and it basically was just like, I can't say it word for word, but it was just like, yeah, like a list of things you want to do before you kick the bucket, i.e. die.
Right.
And I was like,
Right.
oh,
Right.
okay. Like it doesn't need, it's like, this can be like true to me. Like cause I don't ever want to go
Yeah.
skydiving.
No, me neither. That's not on the list at all.
Yeah. Like I support everybody that does do that. And I think you are a badass, but like I am never doing it. So yeah. Okay. Should I go first? Cause you proposed this.
Yeah. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, so surprisingly difficult. And also like, I mean, I couldn't do it in three words, like actually can't even describe what happened. Like it was surprisingly difficult, but also like really eye-opening in the
Yeah.
sense that like it literally made me understand like where my, what is the word I'm looking for? Where my priorities, it made me
Oh,
understand where my life priorities like lie. Like I
yeah.
think I knew it in the back of my head, but like when you see the list all together, you're like, oh my God, like a lot of this is the
Yeah.
same
That's the
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It like brings the things that were like implicitly known, like within yourself. It like brings them to the surface. And there's something really like shocking about that. And like,
Liter-
and not shocking. Like you know it, but it's like shocking to see it.
yeah. It's like, okay. Have you ever like seen like a ghost type movie where like they like pull you out of your body?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Also, people probably know this as an out of body experience.
Yeah. I
The
do.
more common term for it. But like that's how I felt like somebody had like taken my soul out of my body and like exposed it. I know that's like super
Yeah.
dramatic, but like that's how I felt. I felt like really open and like super exposed. And to be like completely honest with you, like it took me a little while to even sit down and write. Like, I mean, I didn't know why I was avoiding it. Like I just
Yeah.
was.
Oh, I was
Um,
too.
yeah, and I think, but okay, when you proposed it though, when you proposed the bucket list, I was like, oh, that's so great. It's going to be a nice, easy try.
Oh, that was the intention. Well, I knew that it was going to be a quick try because we wanted to do one that was kind of quick so we could get ahead of our recordings.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think that it was going to be like easy.
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh, easy peasy. I know what I
Okay.
want. And
Right.
no, I feel like maybe that's how I go into everything. I was like, easy peasy. I can make bread. Like, easy peasy. I can do all these vinyasas. Like, maybe I
Right.
need to stop saying the words easy peasy. I am 30. Maybe it's time to retire that.
Retire the peasy. No, peasy forever.
Easy peasy for life. I don't know how to make like a peace sign. Oh, a
That's
peace
perfect.
sign.
Oh yeah, like sign language P.
I made a sign language. Okay. Anyway, none of you could see that. I'm so sorry. Okay. So anyway, so yeah, it was, I avoided it and I just wasn't sure why. With my emotions, I think that probably other people go through this too. A lot of times I don't know why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling and it gets really jumbled and I'm not exactly sure what I'm feeling until like a couple days. Like I am like one of
Yeah.
those, like kind of just like it needs to process things. And which is very much against like my personality. Like I'm very much like quick, you know,
Right.
like a quick person. Like I get things done fast. Like I'll be there in a jiff. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But like I'm quick. I'll get you the results. But like when it comes to my emotions, like I can't be quick. And I learned this about myself, especially when it came to this. Like I didn't understand why I was avoiding it. And then I finally understood why I was avoiding it. And then I could then write it. But it was a process. Like I mean, how many took me like over a week.
Right.
Yeah. And then I wrote bucket list at the top of my page. And then I was like, holy shit, what am I going to write?
Right.
Yeah. But like I knew what to write. I just didn't want to write it.
It was daunting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally like my pencil to like my paper was like quivering over, like hovering over the top.
Yeah,
and I was like,
it's like a big task. Yeah.
Oh my God. So anyway, so surprisingly difficult, a little bit overwhelming, but it felt really good at the end because, well, okay, no, hold on. It felt really like open, like I told you, like I felt like somebody had taken my soul out of my body. I felt really exposed.
Right.
Which is really hard because you feel really vulnerable. But I also felt like really, like I felt clear. I was like, I understand myself a little better now.
Yeah, it's like a abrasive clarity.
Yeah, it's like
it's like staring into the sun. No, maybe not.
Yeah, no,
that's just dangerous.
It's like or like jumping off the high dive or whatever. Like
yeah,
because that's scary, especially as you get taller, because then you get higher away from the. Like, like when you're little and you go on the high dive, like you're not as high up. And then like when you're like 5'6", like, which is, I'm not that tall, but like tall-ish, then you like get on the high dive and like, if that's 12 feet up, then add my 5 feet and you're like almost 20 feet.
Fucking high up. It's 2 stories, man.
I have a lot of hang-ups about the high dive. I don't know if you have gathered this.
I see them. I'm seeing this.
Oh my God. Anyway, and just to like, for a little bit of some hometown shout out, 568. That was 561, the area code of where we're from. Yeah. So do you know the North Palm Beach Country Club?
I was about to ask you if you know the North Palm Beach Country Club.
Yeah, I do. And they're super, super, super high, like Olympic high dive.
Uh-huh.
Have you
ever jumped off it?
No, it still scares me till today. Like I will like I'm so petrified. Have you?
Same. I've never done it. I will never do it. It's terrifying. Like,
why?
No.
Like, why? Unless you are a professional diver, why are they allowing people up there?
I don't know. It's so fucking scary. Anyways,
yeah, sorry. Okay. Moving on. We have a lot of hangups when it comes to diving. Okay. Skydiving, high diving, whatever.
Floridians, I think.
Exactly. Okay. So anyway, so yeah. So a couple of things on my list. So I realized like where my priorities lie, and it's pretty obvious that like my priorities lie in friends, family, travel, and my career, which probably is true for a lot of people, but like again, like everything is focused on that.
Right.
And so I'll read you a few. Okay. So my top 2, these are the easiest ones to write because I've been wanting to do these for so long and I just need to like fucking do it. Learn Spanish and learn Norwegian. I know they're 2 very different languages. But they both mean something to me and I want to know them.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Then, so a bunch of them are like travel related. So like one of them is like take a trip to the West Coast with Tori. One of them is travel with Channing. One of them is go to Cuba with Smooch. We'll unlock that later. Should we talk about that?
I was gonna say, are we talking
weird?
about Smooch?
No. Another one is travel with family. Like a lot of them are like travel things, travel. And
Right.
then another one is travel with friends. Like they're all the
Yeah.
same, but
Right.
they
Right.
all surround around travel, but like not me by myself. Like I want to be with all the people that I love.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
like really important to like create,
Right.
like to have these bonds with these people, but to also be able to like create memories with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So I always knew that was important, but now I'm like, I want to work my butt off to be able to do these things because I don't want to put it off,
Yeah.
you know? And yeah, money's always a barrier, but like we can do this if we set our minds to it.
Yeah, well, and I think that's something so powerful about writing something like this when you're young and not like, I'm gonna wait until I'm like diagnosed with cancer to write a bucket list. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
writing it when you're young and using it as like literally a life checklist. Like, and yeah, if it changes, it changes. Like being true to yourself and knowing like where you are. And like, I know this is a bucket list for this moment in my life. Like maybe I won't want the same things later. Like
Of
that's totally
course.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But like at least now, like treating it as a checklist, like I know the next thing I'm doing, like among other things, like yes, I'm in school, but the next thing I'm doing is like buying the van, like to do the live out of a van for a year thing. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And then like on and on and on and on and on from there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it's so enlightening. It's like really, again, this is
yeah.
an exercise that everybody should do it. You guys should all do it because I can't even explain to you like how, just how important it has been. Which is again,
Yeah,
I
it
really
really
thought
puts
it
it
was
into
gonna,
perspective.
yeah, I really thought it was gonna be like a throwaway, and it, like not that I thought you gave me a throwaway. I just thought like I could do
No,
it
no.
super easy. Like I didn't think that like I just didn't realize the depth of my emotions surrounding all of these things that I really want to do.
What was that when we were talking the other day? What was that thing that you called it where we like keep where we like put off our dreams for the future and keep putting off our dreams and putting off our dreams and just like settle
Oh,
for like a
mhm.
mundane existence because we just keep thinking our dreams are going to happen eventually. What was that thing?
Yeah. So it's not my thing. I cannot take credit. It's the author Jen Sincero, and she called it the big snooze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, wake up,
Yeah.
baby. It's time.
It's yeah, I mean not like when you're 30 you're like, close to death or anything, but like I don't know, there's something about turning 30 that like for me was very eye-opening in the sense of like your life is happening. Like time is passing and you're like you can't pretend like you're not an adult anymore. Like once the
Yeah.
3 is in the beginning of your age, like you can't like you're here.
You're officially an adult. Yes.
Yeah, like
Yep.
what?
Yeah. No, I felt
Yeah.
that I've been feeling that a lot. I mean, we talked about it the other day about how like everything didn't get kind of intense when I turned 30. It was just like when I was 30, I woke up. And then when I was listening to Jen Sincero's audiobook and when I was listening to it, she called it the big snooze. And I was like, oh my God, like, how did you completely encapsulate exactly what it was? Like, I've been
Yeah.
snoozing. Like, I've been living life,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
but like, I've been kind of snoozing, you know? So
Right,
I want to tell
right.
you just two more and then I want to hear your experience. A bunch of the other ones were like a lot of like career goals that I want to achieve. And it was just like
Right.
so again, it was so funny how like it just like I read to you like two languages I want to learn and then all these travel things that I want to do with families and friends, like family and friends. Like the same thing happened with like career goals. It was like they would keep showing up and like they're things I've always wanted to
Yeah.
do. But it was crazy how
Yeah.
like my list was very repetitive in the sense of like I I don't need to take a vow of silence and go to an ashram in India, even though that is something that people can do and should do if they choose.
That
That
is
sounds like,
something that's on my list.
oh my God. I thought I was pulling that out of thin air. Are you serious?
Yes.
that was completely improvised. Like, that was like completely off the cuff. I was like, what the fuck am I going to say? I was like, Ashram, India, silence.
That is on my list. I'm not kidding.
Amazing. This is why we're best friends. We have telepathy. We really do.
I know, for real.
We have ESPN.
My breath can tell when it's raining.
Yeah. I'm Karen, and it's already raining. She's my favorite. She is a gem. Anyway, okay. So it was just like so interesting. So that's not where my priorities lie. Like, my priorities lie in, furthering, things in my career and family and friends and travel and all that stuff. But, the most precious thing that I wrote down that wasn't necessarily hard to write, but I've never seen it in writing, and it like means a lot to me. You can like see I'm like smiling as I say it, and I'm like petting my book.
I do.
Yeah, like it was have a child. Like, I want a baby. Not now, but I do want one. And I want to I don't know how, probably just one, but I don't know my life. So, yeah, it was the most precious thing. Like, I've never seen it. I've never written it down. I've talked about it, but I've never made it a thing. So
I don't know why that's making me cry.
I know, because they're gonna be mommy.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna really love your kid.
I know. Stop! You're gonna make me cry. I hate you, but I love you.
Well, like, I don't want children. Like, that's something that I think I've tried to force that in myself because of a lot of different reasons. But like, I know that's not something that I want, but like, I love you so much, and I just know that I'm really gonna love your child.
You're making me cry.
Yeah, that's really happy.
Yeah, it's really yeah. My cheeks hurt.
Good. I'm glad this was so clarifying.
I'm glad my future child is gonna be so loved.
They are. And like, we've talked about this before. Your child has to have a British accent.
Oh yeah, don't worry. They will be raised. I've done a show with a British accent. Tori's very good at accents.
A mixed baby with a British accent? Like, stop.
It's perfect. I feel like you do a really nice British accent. Like, I think we got this. We just surround the baby with wonderful British tones and dulcet ways of speaking. And not only is he's constantly watching the British baking show, and not only does he speak with a British accent, but he also knows Spanish and Norwegian like his mummy.
Amazing.
Because she has done those two things on her bucket list.
What a goddamn gem.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Cool. No, that's really cool that, like, in zooming out on your life and like kind of looking over it almost like a guardian angel. That's kind of how I felt when I was writing this. Like,
yeah.
Like, looking over the expanse of your life, you knew that was a puzzle piece that needed to be there. And like,
yep.
I know that's been a big question mark for you lately.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Especially like, being an actor is a weird career, and so you never really know where that's going to lead you. But I know that, and Tori feels the same way. Like, we want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, really loving.
Cry again.
Me neither. Really I want to.
Like, I am shoving it down. Because that's fucking beautiful. Oh my gosh.
You want to know? No, you want to. Thank you so much. You want to know why they actually call it the bucket list? It's not because you kick the bucket. It's because it's so emotional that you could fill a bucket with your tears. That's what it is.
That's absolutely true. I'm not kidding. Before we recorded, I texted like all my family members and was like, I love you. Yes, and my sister was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I just feel bad for having moved away and like missed out on a lot of your life. And she was like, what?
Yes.
Yeah, I just kind of like put shit into perspective. I don't know.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I was saying. Like, it makes you want to be able to make these memories with these people that you love so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me what's going on in your bucket list besides the one I already guessed to a T.
Yeah. Live in India. stay in an ashram in India.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wrote mine, right before we recorded because that's what I do. I'm a procrastinator. And like to get into it, I put on like some really chill music and kind of did like my own like abundance meditation. Like, I don't know, just like imagining my future and imagining everything that I might desire and kind of like putting myself in that place of like reflecting over a life that I haven't lived yet.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have like the weird hiccup burps.
It's that $6 duck rosé.
Yeah. Weird hiccup burp. And I realized that the music I was listening to like was from a time in my life that was really painful. And so I think, yeah, it was the music that was like from when I taught yoga right after my husband and I separated, and I was like could barely get through teaching a yoga class. Like I remember I was like crying in front of my yoga classes.
I remember that was really hard for you to even go back to teach because it was so because you're so connected. In yoga, you have to be connected to your emotions, and you had so many.
I don't know that you have to be. I think people can fake it, but I can't fake it. Like I have to leave all of myself out there, and like I have to teach from what I know. And like at the time, what I knew was like, God, I did so many balancing poses because I was like, y'all, you got to figure out how to like be able to find balance when life pulls the rug out from under you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that honestly, I think the playlist may have kind of got me in like kind of a really sad mood. Like in addition to it being already kind of a heavy, not even kind of a heavy, like a super heavy,
very heavy,
cry. Yeah. So I don't think that helped. Eventually I changed it, to a little bit more uplifting, chill music, and that helped. I'm very influenced by music.
I mean, as we all are, but you especially.
Yeah. But I noticed that some themes emerged for me as well. And, yeah, those were obviously travel, gonna be a theme. So it was like travel, professional, and, music, which was a little surprising.
It doesn't surprise me.
It's a little surprising to me because like, so when I say painful and motivating, one of the painful things was like, and this is one of the regrets of my life, is that I walked away from music. Like I wanted to change my major from music, and I don't regret that decision at all because it brought me to mental health, and that is such a passion in my life. But I didn't hang on to it in any capacity. Like,
yeah, you just completely shed that skin.
Yeah. And like, I'm a talented singer, and like,
you are.
Thanks. And like, I really loved doing music. So there's a lot of things on here that are like, be in a band.
Yeah.
Like, sing in a professional choir again. You know what I mean? Like, write an album and produce an album.
That is really, oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, like of my own, like songwritings that I wrote. Yeah.
That would be amazing. I was going to say there's something as a singer, actor as well. Like there's something like really deep about music and singing, and it lives inside of you. And it's like, if you can't do it, or if you're not given the opportunities, or if you're just you're not connecting to it like you used to, like it literally feels like there was like a fire inside you and it was put out. Like it's
like a spiritual expression.
Yeah. It's like shutting off an entire part of your being. And especially because it was so much a part of your entire life. That makes so much sense to me. But it's so hard because you had made this decision to like focus on something else. And so I think probably the act of like writing this, you like didn't expect that part to say, hey, Chan, like, I'm still here.
I knew music was going to come up, but it came up quite a bit. And I think with that, so did mental health, which makes me so happy knowing that like, I didn't make a bad decision in changing my major from music, even though like I had a full ride scholarship for music. Like, I just have many passions in my life. What I struggle with and what I can definitely improve upon is my capacity for balance.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of go balls to the wall with one thing, like, and just kind of drop things, that are still really important to me. So
Mhm.
yeah, music came up a lot. I had a lot of professional things come up as well, like, write a book.
I love that. I have that on.
Yeah.
I have write on mine as well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
exciting. Maybe we'll write a book together.
Well,
Um,
I mean, yeah.
is that like a duh?
Yeah, obviously. I was like, that's not what you wrote. You didn't write that. No,
That's
mine
obvious.
was I mean, hello. No, mine was actually just write, because I write in a lot of different capacities, but it was just
Right.
write.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, I love that. Amazing. I could see you doing that
Yeah.
in many different areas. I could see you writing a book.
Yeah, like I would love to write a novel and I'd love
Yeah,
to write, a professional book,
yeah.
whatever
I love
the
that.
capacity.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So there's that. There's run a research study on the mental health benefits of yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Um these are like the professional ones. La 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 la. Work for a nonprofit or charity. Um where was the other one that was really interesting? Oh, get my PhD. I've always kind of like I've been on the fence about that for a long time, and like I always been like, nah, I don't really, that's not a thing that I'm gonna do. But like, sort of like how that was clarifying for you that you actually do want to have a kid. This was
Mm-hmm.
clarifying for me. Like, I actually do want to get my doctorate.
That's
It's not a silly thing.
amazing.
Yeah,
Like you wrote it down.
I do. I do want to get my PhD.
Why? That's amazing. That's like, why is writing something down, like, why does that make it real? Like, because
I don't know.
you'd
It just
been thinking about this
does.
forever, and then you wrote it down, and now you're like, oh my God, like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
fucking get a PhD. Like, I can do this.
yeah, but the thing is, I've been thinking about it forever, but I've also been like convincing myself not to. Like, oh, I
Totally.
don't need to do that. Like, that's
Hmm.
something that's like, whatever, I don't need to be a doctor. But then I was like in when I'm in that space of like thinking of abundance of what I want my life to be, it's part of it. And so why deny myself that?
That's
Because it's not
amazing.
necessary.
That's
Yeah. So that
amazing.
was cool.
Oh, I'm so proud. That's
Thanks.
awesome.
So yeah, so there was that. There's also like teach a college course. I don't necessarily like I'm not like attached to like I would need to be a professor, but maybe like just adjunct like one college course,
Love it.
whatever it looks like. I would just really like to be on that side of academia at some point. Yeah. So there's that stuff. There's a lot of creative things like we already talked about music. There's like making my own clothes.
Yes. You wanted to do that forever.
Surfing. Yeah.
Wait, say it
I
again.
want to
Say it
surf
again.
again.
She wants to surf.
Yeah. Okay. So Mari and I used to be little surfer babies. Like, are you saying no? We did. We weren't good at it, but we did it.
Okay, if surfing means taking your surfboard and really yummy smelling surf wax to the beach and then waxing your board and then laying on it, we were surfers.
I never just laid on my board. I
Okay,
paddled out every time
sure.
we took our boards out.
Yeah. I paddled out too. And then I didn't stand up most of the time. And then I laid on my board. I love that. Yes. I feel like surfing take two, number one. And number two, you can totally
Yeah.
surf.
Well, I don't know. You listen, I might suck at it and I'm going to be okay with that. I'm going to let myself suck at it if it happens.
I love that though, but I can I can see you like, girl, shredding some waves. Is that what they say? Hanging 10.
I'm not like attached. I'm not attached to like being a pro surfer or anything, but like I just want to give it another shot because I didn't feel like I gave it my full shot when we did it when we were kids.
Definitely did not.
Yeah. So there's that. There's like learn to kayak in whitewater.
Ooh.
Yep. Yeah. That's a thing up here. I've always really admired it. I think it takes a lot of bravery.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'd like to do that. And so another thing on here is whitewater raft or whitewater kayak the Grand Canyon.
Oh my God. I just got goosebumps.
Yeah. I would love to do
That
that.
would be epic. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm just like looking over this again. Um, yeah, so of course a lot of them are travel too, like live out of a van for a year,
Mm-hmm.
um, live abroad. I'd like to live in another country.
I almost wrote that down.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. I don't know what
but
stopped
did
me.
not.
I almost wrote down, then I didn't. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, 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 you want to hear this one?
Yes.
Live in the same city as Mari.
Yes! No, that's not a bucket list. That's like a to-do list. Like, can you just get it done?
That's what
Can we just
right.
do it? I feel like, hold on. I have something. It's not exactly that, but it's close.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, it's travel with you, which I think is the second best thing. And then also
definitely. Like that's,
though,
we have to do that.
um, like it's, you know, create a business with my best friend and partner in crime, Channing.
Yeah!
Yeah.
One of the things I have on here is for us to do a live podcast show.
Why did I write that?
Well, it's whatever. We're gonna do
No,
it.
send me your list. I want to copy some stuff down.
Okay, I will. I will. There's some other funny ones that I have that like I'm really excited about. Like visit every continent. And
Yes.
so there's this thing I've always wanted to do, right? Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you pack. So you pack for like some sort of like maybe you're gonna pack for a tropical trip. And
Okay.
then you just drive to the airport with no flight ticket and you buy the next flight leaving out of that airport that
Yeah.
like matches what you packed. So
Yeah.
like the next flight to somewhere warm
Yes.
and you just fucking go.
Yeah. Can we?
So that's on my list too, doing that.
Okay. I am going to put myself in that. And I also would like you to put that on your to-do list. So we do this very
This
soon.
is my to-do list. This is my life to-do list.
I know,
and like
but
I'm getting started.
well, me too, but I want it to be on your this week's to-do list. Can we do this soon? Like, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. I know. I don't have that kind of money.
Me
yet.
neither. Sponsor us.
I know, guys. Casper Mattress, can you like sponsor us?
Yeah. Hey, Casper.
Who else? Bombas Talk.
Oh my God, Bombas. I love socks. I'd be such a good spokesperson.
Socks are good. They make my toes warm.
Yeah, I'm literally wearing them right now. I feel like I'm sorry, most people could say that. Like most people could like I'm an expert because I'm wearing them. Like no, like everybody wears socks.
I too am wearing socks though, so that doubles our percentage.
Double expert. All right, Bombas, balls in your court. Or should I say socks on your foot? Oh my God.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, keep going.
Perfect. No, it's all good. I wrote down some thoughts too, about like the experience of writing it.
Yeah.
Because I think those are all the ones that I want to like talk about. It was pretty cool to see those themes emerge too, and like pretty motivating.
Yeah. It really gives you clarity.
I do have stay in an ashram in India. I just say.
And I somehow spiritually knew that about you.
Yeah. Oh, so one thing that I wrote was that like looking at it this way, there's a couple different things that I wrote that like kind of are on the same page that's like life can be bigger than I've made it out to be so far.
Mm-hmm.
And we've kind of talked about that in the what'd you call it? The Great Snooze?
Yeah, the big snooze.
Yeah, like yes, life is mundane, but I think like if you're working towards something, like yeah, right now I'm working towards getting my master's degree, but there's a lot of other things that can exist at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I think moving through life in an intentional way and not just like letting like you being the master of your own destiny to a certain extent. Like yeah, things unexpected are going to happen, but being the master of your own destiny in the extent of like I have plans and I have goals and I'm
Yep.
putting intention and effort and energy behind these goals.
Yes.
Then you're not just letting life happen to you.
And yes. And I think that, but the only way that you can do that is to know what those are. And I think that's where people get hung up.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's where we were
Right.
hung up
Be
for
in
a
the
long
practice
time.
of defining your desires. Yes. Yes.
You know, in our 20s, I think we knew vaguely what we wanted, you know, like, and I think we achieved some of our goals that we set out, but like we weren't
Right.
as intentionally living. Like we weren't intentionally being like, what are these goals? What are the real world things that I can do to make them happen? And how do I do that right now?
Yeah. I think back to, I don't know if you remember this, when I wrote that blog post on my personal blog. My blog isn't up anymore, y'all, but maybe I'll resurrect it. It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. It was.
When I was like first coming out of like my lowest low of my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of experiencing like the brightness of joy that comes after that low. And I think that was probably when I was at my wisest in my life, was in that transition period.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about pain that really teaches you what life's all about. And I wrote this blog post about everything, like little snippets about everything that I had learned. And it's so juicy. I reread it recently. It's so juicy, man. But one of the things that I wrote, which was like, kind of like, I don't know, sort of like a life lesson that I had learned,
Mm-hmm.
was, constantly be in the practice of defining your desires.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And like, I think that's what this is. That's what this bucket list thing is.
I think that's
like,
exactly what it is.
It's a start, because it's going to be dynamic, and we're going to keep like changing it and updating it. And I want to keep looking at it and not just like let it be a thing in a notebook that disintegrates and I forget about it.
Yep. It's a way of like clearing out all the noise too. I think it's exactly what I was saying about like my emotions, like how like it takes me a second to understand why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. But once I do understand how I'm feeling, I'm able to then like take whatever action it is to whatever it is. Like I can then do something about it. Right. And so if we can keep understanding like what we want for our lives, like in like a thoughtful way, then we can thoughtfully live.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like, okay. So I think you and I had talked about this, and we talked about how we wanted to talk about it on the podcast a little bit. Mm-hmm. When like, because I'm the same way. Like my emotions will sometimes like overwhelm my thoughts.
Yeah.
In a way that like making sense of them takes a long time.
Yes.
And it's cumbersome and like painful, and kind of feels like I'm wading through spaghetti.
Yeah. like maybe like fettuccine this thick.
Yeah, but each of those noodles is a thought, and I'm like fucking wading through it, and it's confusing, and they're all connected, and there's sauce, and that's the emotions, and I'm sorry for this metaphor, it's weird.
No, I feel it. I'm swimming along with you. We're swimming through spaghetti. It's happening, girl.
But like, I
see a meatball.
Oh, a meatball. What is that? Is that a value? Is that a life value of mine?
Is that a little nugget of value? We've come up with some real weird metaphors, but yeah, no, I feel that too. So keep going. So you're wading through your spaghetti.
Right. And I think that like, in order to be able to make sense of the complicated, intricate, connected thoughts and emotions, it's so important to ask yourself, like, what is the need underneath this emotion? Mm-hmm. Like, what need is either not being met or longing for? under this thing. Like when you're feeling shitty or like inexplicably anxious, like what's the need under it? And then finding the need, identifying the need, and then that can turn into action. Because I think just going straight from emotion to thought is sometimes too big of a leap when the emotions are too overwhelming.
And I think as you get older, they get more overwhelming, which is weird because like you wouldn't think that that would be correct, but it's like there's just more stuff. We've just had more experiences. Like there's just more spaghetti.
Yeah, and I think there's more pressure.
Yeah, I said more spaghetti so seriously, and I meant it.
No, I was totally right there with you. I was like, yes, more spaghetti, there is.
Yeah, and things are like
we have more baggage.
We do, and things are more high stakes. Yeah, and we were talking about it too, like as in, so like one of the most destructive things is like comparison. And it's like,
oh God,
it's how, you know, your brain, oh my God, sometimes like, or your thoughts and emotions are like just working against you. And you see someone doing something that you want to do, and then you compare yourself, you feel like shit. And then sometimes it's easy to get lost in that. Like it's easy to just drown in the red sauce.
Right.
But if you can grab onto one of the meatballs, which is your need, I decided the need, right. But if you can like figure out like what your value, what your value is, like what the meatball is, right? Then you can like float to the top and you can address it. You know, you can find some Parmesan cheese. You can make that shit taste good.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I just figured out the name of our book.
Parmesan cheese, make that shit taste good?
I mean, yeah, I think that can be the in parentheses. I think it'll be on top of spaghetti, and then in parentheses, Parmesan cheese, make that shit taste good, and then wading through our pasta bowl of emotions.
That's perfect.
It's so succinct too. Like I think people will really be able to.
It's very succinct.
People will be able to remember the whole title.
No, it's really catchy.
Yeah, thank you.
It's real catchy and it makes me hungry. So I know that you and I could wax poetic about processing our thoughts and emotions forever. Yeah. And we, you know what? We do have forever because this podcast is not ending anytime soon.
It is not.
Like this episode is, but this podcast isn't.
We are here to stay. So, are you going to do it again? I think we already decided we are, but are you going to do it again?
Yeah, no, this is something that I want to come back to constantly and let it define my choices going forward.
Me too. I think it's almost like it's not meditation necessarily. It's not journaling. It's like in between. Yeah. And it's something I want to make a practice, to come back to it, to look at it, to let it be. Yeah. It's really important. And I had no idea how much I needed it.
Yeah. Good. This was like this. I think this was my favorite try so far.
It's a great try.
Yeah. Feels good. I just like feel really energized.
I feel really good. I feel really clear. I feel excited. I feel like I love you.
Yeah.
I always feel that way though. That never changes. Okay. So we're supposed to do our new tribe reveal.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have anything?
I completely forgot. I did everything else. I did so many things for the podcast. Like I was doing everything. And then I was like, shit.
Okay, wait. Okay. No, listen. We're going to edit. Okay. We're going to edit going forward out. 3, 2, 1. We're back.
So, are you ready for...
We decided. We talked about it and we decided.
The great minds have convened and we have figured it out. So, okay, so our try for this week is an anxiety-inducing try, which is funny because we both do this, so it makes no sense that we're scared to do it. But it is record a cover and release it on YouTube. I was trying to ease the anxiety.
I don't know why mine turned into like feral cats.
Speaking of feral cats, okay, I just have to say this because it's so important.
Okay.
Please, everyone out there, this is a PSA. Please watch Kimmy Schmidt, season 4. I believe it's episode 10 or 11. And it is all about the musical Cats. And it will make your life better in every way possible. And I don't care if you've never watched the show. Season 4, the episode about cats. I believe it's the second to the last episode. It is everything Tina Fey is a goddess.
All right, I'll have to watch it.
You will. So our try is going to be to record a cover and put it on the YouTube.
Are we going to put it on our individual YouTubes?
We could do that, but
will we create a 30, Flirty, and Trying podcast YouTube?
Already created that.
Oh, well then let's just put it on there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So where can people find us on YouTube, Mari?
People
I didn't know we had a YouTube.
Find us on YouTube. We are 30, Flirty, and Trying podcast on you. That's not very helpful, but that's what we are. Just search 30, Flirty, and Trying podcast. That's what we are on YouTube. I don't have the link up right now.
Yeah. Okay. So you can find our try on there. We'll probably link it on Instagram too, if that's possible.
Yes.
And we'll share it on our Facebook. Oh yeah, we have a Facebook now, guys. So find us on Facebook.
Yep. Facebook is the same, 30, Flirty, and Trying pod.
Sweet. Email us your suggestions for new tries.
Please.
The thoughts that are blowing your mind.
Please.
Any tips you have for next week's try.
Any feedback?
What else was it? Oh yeah, feedback about our podcast, what you think about us. Your experience, like trying things, and like how that's gone. Like maybe if you've written a bucket list and how that went, or if you've been like trying along with us, which we encourage everyone to do. Just like telling us how that's been for you, what that process has been like. We're very process heavy. I think there's a lot of meat in the process. That's what this podcast is about.
The meatballs.
So send us those things. Yeah, the meatballs. Send us that stuff to 30flirtyandtryingpod@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at 30flirtyandtryingpod. Twitter. Ooh, Mari made us a Twitter.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I was busy today.
You were. The Twitter handle is 30flirtyandtryingpod. Surprise.
Yes. So it's at 30flirtyandtryingpod, but also, our actual like username on Twitter is 30flirty_try. Because Twitter is all about being short. And so, yeah, but you can find us if you search at 30flirtyandtryingpod.
Amazing.
Yeah. Rate and review us on iTunes. Listen on iTunes, Spotify, Buzzsprout, and soon YouTube.
Awesome. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Follow us on all the things.
And if you guys want to make a cover and release it, let us know. Hashtag come along for the Tried. And, we want to hear it. You guys are amazing.
That'd be so great. Yeah, I want to hear your voices. It'll be like online karaoke with our podcast crew.
Oh my God, that's exactly what it is. It's try-oke.
Yeah.
No. So anyway, all right. So thanks so much for listening.
Come along for the try.
See you next week. Bye.